Okay, so today we're doing lesson 20. I just forgot to change the 19 to 20, but we are covering 3 ways to show division. So today we are going to talk about the terms that we will be referring to when we start working with division. Those vocabulary words are dividend, divisor, and quotient, and it's something that a lot of times students will confuse with one another. A lot of people get dividend and divisor mixed up. Guys, if you're doing anything on your whiteboards, I need you to put the lid on and close your marker up, set it down, and pay attention to the board, please. Okay, so the number that's being divided is called the dividend. That's the number that's usually inside the division house or the division box. The number that we are dividing by is called the divisor. That's the number outside the division house. And then the answer to a division problem is called the quotient. So you can see it in 3 different ways. Here's one right here. Dividend divided by divisor equals quotient. Here's another way right here. It looks like a fraction. Basically, a fraction is a division problem. So we have dividend divided by the divisor still equals the quotient. And then our third way to divide is to set it up in a traditional division box. So you have your dividend inside, divided by your divisor, your quotient goes on top. Okay. So right now, we are going to use words to show how each division problem is read. So on your whiteboard, please write in words. Don't solve these. I want you to write in words each of these division problems, how it would be read. If I read this to you, what would it say? Most of what I'm seeing as I go around the room is this. $12 divided by 6. Every single one of those would say 12 divided by 6. Even though they look different, every one of those is the exact same problem. Okay, write this division problem in 2 other forms on your whiteboard. So I'm giving it to you in horizontal, just 15 with the traditional division symbol divided by 3. Please write this in the other 2 forms on your whiteboard. If you're at home, pause and then check it when you're ready. One of the most common mistakes that I see when people go to solve a problem like this is they set it up incorrectly. Okay, just about every single person that held up their board had 15 divided by 3 and 15 divided by 3, which is correct. This is the incorrect way to write that problem that's on your screen right now. You want to make sure that the 15 dividend is inside the division house when you actually go to set it up to solve it. Okay, we're actually going to solve this time. So we're going to divide 15 divided by 3 on your whiteboards. Hold them up when you got it. Good, perfect. And this is what I'm seeing across the room. Very good. Some of you went one step further. You set it up like this and showed me that 5 is your answer. Okay, it's very important that you understand the correct way to set up a division problem. When we start getting into fractions and changing fractions into decimals, okay, which is something that you will do, you have to understand that you are dividing the top number, and the numerator in a fraction is a dividend. All right, hang on. In the following equation, label the divisor, the dividend, and the quotient. So please write this problem on your whiteboard. I want to make sure that you understand the parts of a division problem. So you're going to copy this down and label dividend, divisor, and quotient. You can pause the video so you can do this at home when you're ready. Unpause and check your work. Okay, just about every single one of you had 56 is your dividend. Top number is always the dividend. 7 is your divisor. And 8 is your quotient. Some of you actually labeled it as dividend over divisor equals quotient. And that's fine, as long as you understand that the dividend is on the top because that's the number that you are dividing the divisor by. Okay, quick little lesson on division, just a little review. Do we need to practice actually dividing?
No, you got this.
Okay, if you have, for example, 99 divided by 9, ask yourself, 9 times what is 99? That's a basic math fact. What would your answer be? Good, some of y'all are showing me 11. Good. Okay, your lesson 20 is on pages 138 to 140. There's only one problem today, number 5, that requires you to write an equation before solving the problem. Again, think about how you are to solve for the answer. If you have to subtract to get the answer, then that means your equation should be the opposite and should be an addition equation. Okay, so keep that in mind for number 5.